Hello, this is Kevin, and in this session, we're going to take a look at table properties where you can basically highlight like every other row, kind of like green bar paper or something to make the reports more readable. So if somebody's got a report that only has 2 or 3 columns, it's probably not a big deal, but 20 columns, 10 columns, something that has a lot of columns can be difficult to basically follow something for all the way across and keep your eyes set on what row of data you're looking at. So the alternating colors can kind of be nice just to kind of help your eye follow across and not, creep up or down on a line. So that's what we're going to take a look at in this session. We've got the same report we've been working on through what we've got built for session so far. And if I go back to my define, there's a properties button. Whoops, wrong one. Under refine, there is a properties button because this is associated with this table. So it's actually a table property. So in a more advanced video that we'll do, we're going to talk about multiple tables. So you might have one table that you have the alternating of colors on, and you may have another grid of data that maybe you don't, and so forth. So this will basically let me control the properties of this particular table. So this is where we went into earlier in a prior video on getting context paging on, so it'd show more columns and so forth, and how many rows to kind of show in the body of it to start with. So it's the row style that I want to take a look at this. So this will basically enable an alternate style. And if I click on the A there kind of for a font, it'll basically bring up this box so I can tell it what I want to do. So I could go through and pick some sort of a color if I want. So if in this case, I'm just going to go in and pick this light green, or if I want to pick whatever other color I want. You could also change some of the horizontal alignments or borders going around things and so forth. So just some other controls associated with that style. If you remember, back here, I had one job that I was basically telling it not to repeat that job on every line, and same way with vendor. So I'm going to show you a side effect first just by turning this on, and then we'll show you how to fix it. So if I go ahead and hit OK here, it's going to go ahead and green bar every other line. So that one's green, that one's not, that one's green, that one's not, that one's green, so on and so forth as it goes down. But as it goes down to some of these, it looks like the color gets, out of whack a little bit, because theoretically Barth here had one line white and one line should have been green if this was repeating. Since this was not set up to repeat, it basically makes some of the colors look a little weird, that this one's basically all green where theoretically the first line should not have been green, and so on and so forth. And same way with the job over here, this is all green. So the highlighting looks a little weird when you're not showing it on every single line. If I go back into the properties there's also something that says duplicate values, repeat on each row. This basically lets the system know on anything that you're suppressing, still kind of take it by, go back to kind of a line by line basis. So that whole line is going to be green, or that whole line is going to be green, where these are going to be, not highlighted and so forth. So if you want to use the kind of the green bars or whatever color you want to make it, but kind of the bar effect to kind of follow something going across, you'll probably need to have it set where these lines are not being suppressed. They're basically being shown on every single line. So that's just a fast way to do it. So instead of me having to go to both of these columns and turn it basically on the column properties like we showed in a prior video, this is where it's going to let you see, do it all in one shot for however many ones you've got suppressed and so forth. And that's pretty much what the banding looks like. So that way you can just turn on a band, tell it a color or font or whatever looks different, and basically it just makes it where it's easier to read your report on those reports that have a lot of columns especially. Thanks for watching.